creepy bastards. Welcome back to another episode. It is almost Christmas. Holy crap. Next week. I'm not done shopping. I just barely made it to the post office today. That was a 2-day adventure because of how horrible it is there right now. But anyway, sorry there was no show last night. I guess maybe a slight explanation. Yesterday was actually my boyfriend's birthday. It was a milestone birthday, and he had an unusually bad day. It was so bad, and he drives an hour out of work and he drives an hour home every day. So, and he works 10-hour days on top of that. So that's 12 days away or 12 hours away, 6 days a week. And he had to stay late last night, so he didn't get home till almost 7 o'clock. And then it was he just felt so bad, and I felt so bad for him, and I felt like I couldn't leave him hanging. You know what I mean? I can't leave you. I can't leave you. I'm sorry. I'm sure everyone will understand. So thank you guys. Sorry there's no show, but we're back to it tonight. Hey Leonard, how you doing? Thanks for joining, bud. I hope you've had a creepy day today. Speaking of creepy, today's topic is going to be part 1 of real life haunted houses. So not just the ones you see in the movies, the real ones. And I don't know, I like a lot of these because some of them sound like they could be a horror movie. That's why I kind of wanted to do these. And then some, horror movies are based off of them. So why not? I'm keeping it in the category, I guess. So whether it's real or fake. Hey Dexter. Oh, thank you. I did them myself today because everything's closed again. Hey John, what's up? And let's see. You're good. Oh, I love haunted houses too. I was so sad because I don't quite recall if I ever found out where you were from, Leonard, but I live in California. I live in Southern California. We have Universal Studios, which is an amazing place to go to, especially if you're into movies. And we have Hollywood Horror Nights. Oh, I think I say that right. I mess everything up. You guys know me. But Halloween Horror Nights or Hollywood Horror Nights, whatever. And they have the actual they set up the haunted houses based off of movies. Like they have the Poltergeist, they did Trick or Treat, they did The Purge, and it's fucking insane. It's madness. I love it so much. And this past year we didn't, and we all know why we didn't get anything this year. So I guess we're all bad and Santa's punishing us now. Oh, that bastard. Anyway, let's see. Did I have any other announcements before I got into this topic? I don't think I do. Blah, blah, blah. Oh yes, real quick. Again, thank you to everybody who is helping and support my film lore. Oh, actually, yes, I did. My boyfriend is so awesome. He got me a brand new camera that came in today finally, and I got to go pick it up. So I'm super excited. I know it's not, a Hollywood grade movie, or a Hollywood grade, film camera, but I think it's pretty cool. It's fairly new for its brand and its, line and everything like that. So I'm excited to have it. It's, at least it's nice to have a working one again because I haven't had a working one in a couple of years and I just never made it a priority to get a new one. But since I do all this stuff now, well, way more of it now over the past couple of years. My boyfriend he's been hooking me up with some pretty cool stuff. He went and he got me that camera with a mic. He got me this really cool, comfy, bendy chair. So anyway, I'm gonna stop. He's amazing, and I appreciate everything that he does for me. It's really cool. So anyway, so I'm gonna be filming more of my film this weekend. And yeah, I left the fucking perks in the other room. Anyway, since I have a new camera, I'm gonna be filming some more stuff. I've kind of been holding off too because I knew I was getting this camera and I didn't want to waste it on this stupid phone camera or my stupid webcam over here. So yeah, I think I'm gonna take some photos or some film with the perks that I have to offer, the new ones, and shoot that out there. So now that I have it. Anyway. Let's see. Leonard says, live in Vegas, or call it a Horrorwood video. Oh, wow. Bonnie Springs. I don't think I've ever heard of that, but I'm interested. That's pretty cool. Cool, cool, cool. I love it. Well, I guess we can get into some horrific stuff, because this does get kind of whoo. And like I said, this is part one. I might do a part two next month or next week or tomorrow. I don't fucking know. But I like touching bases on real life horror, not just the made up stuff, because a lot of the made up stuff is based off of real shit. And I mean, come on, nothing's scarier than the real shit in the real world. So we're gonna touch base on that today. Hey, Alex, Nikki, how you guys doing? Or how are you doing? I don't know which one's checking in right now. Okay, so this week I decided to talk about it's a place called the House of Death, and it's in New York City. It's still a building that's up. It was built in the 1850s in a favorable area of New York, the Washington Square Park area. They advertise the address online. It's actually 14 West 10th Street. That's weird to say that, because I've never been anywhere where you've had to say it. Any address that was like that. So, oh, real quick. What do you think about Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot that's in the works with the mess of the timeline? I don't have faith, and I think it could end up. Yeah, that's kind of hard. But yeah, after the last one, I mean, I didn't hate the last one, honestly. I didn't hate it. I was kind of like, okay, that's different, I guess. I honestly don't think I would associate it with too strongly with the other Texas Chainsaw Massacres. Kind of like the oh my god, the new Nightmare, the newer Freddy, where they fucking CGI'd his face or whatever. No, I forget. I even forget that movie exists half the time, because I won't even associate it with that. That's its own thing to me. I didn't like that. I didn't appreciate that. So, but yeah, no, I'm interested to check out at least the trailer for it. But I don't think I'd go jumping out of my way to go see it right away. I'll give it some time. I'll listen. I'll listen to the crowd first and see what they say. Not that I'm gonna follow the crowd, but sometimes you gotta let a friend help you out. I have lots of friends that'll tell me, please don't watch this movie. You will waste your life. 2 hours you'll never get back. I appreciate that stuff. Anyway, sorry, ADD meds haven't kicked in yet. Anyway, back to the topic. House of Death in New York, Washington Park Square area, 1850s. This house, it's like a 4-story house. Let me see if I can pull up the picture of it. They don't have like a lot of really good photos of it, but it's good enough. Let's see where we at. Okay, cool. You can see it. It is obviously it's this one right here, and then I'll get into why Mark Twain's next to the photo in a second. Anyway, this is the house. It was basically the people who moved in and out of it were all like New York elite. They were railway tycoons, actresses, writers, all kinds of important people who had money. It was that kind of area. And in 1900, the most famous tenant they had was Mark Twain, hence why he's over here. But he only lived there for like a year. And okay, I'm done with that. He only lived there for like a year, and then he moved out and went on about his life, moved to a different state, and about a decade later he passed away. But people who have lived in the house afterwards or visited claims to have encountered his ghost, even though he didn't die there. Maybe it's, like how they have in the horror movies where it's like there's that demon that like presents itself as someone or something else until it gets your trust, and then it's like, you're mine now. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But there was the most notable one was in the 1930s. A mother and a daughter had reported that they had, ran into his spirit. I mean, run through it, I guess. Run through his spirit. And he had stated to them, "My name's Clems, and I have a problem here. I gotta settle." And Mark Twain, that's not his name. That's like a, what would you call it? Like a pen name, a pseudonym, or wait, not a surname. I can't think of it. One of you will. I trust you. So, but basically, his real name was Samuel Clemens. So I guess he was talking about himself. Maybe there was something there going on. There was a couple of people who reported seeing him, and the people who had seen him, they would all normally report him being either down at the bottom of the stairwell, or he'd be on the first floor, just kind of just there, and then he would vanish. Pen name. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's see. First floor, end of the staircase. Oh yeah, and carrying a white coat. I don't know what the reference to a white coat is, if there's any to Mark Twain. I wasn't a huge fan. Sorry, not sorry. Anyway, in 1937, the building, because they needed more housing in the area, like, and they basically took that entire 4-story house that I just showed you guys a moment ago, and they turned it into like a 10-unit apartment complex, and just kind of split it up and rented it out. And that's the photo I mean, it still looks the same to this day, just the inside's different. He wore white all the time. Oh, really? Okay, maybe that's why he had a white coat on. And he, has unfinished business, got his jacket off. I'll put it on when I'm done, when I'm ready to leave. I don't know. Let's see. This is the one that's kind of like, this is the climb to the top of the hill where it all really starts getting crazy. But in 1957, actress Jan Bryant Bartel and her husband moved into the house. But this is the time, like I said, 1957, 1937, they transformed it. So 20 years later, she moves into the house with her husband, and they move to this top floor in kind of like the back corner apartment. And when the house was in its original state, that was the servants' quarters. So they were up in that area that was inhabited by, workers at the house. So, hey, Danny Dan, how you doing, bro? Thanks for joining. But yeah, so they lived up there in the area that would have been the service quarters, and they started hearing noises like footsteps. Her hair would be up, and she would feel like someone brushed the back of her neck, and she started seeing like a monstrous shadow figure that would like lurk around the house. And then their dog also would like bark into like nothing, into dead air, like into nothing. And the chairs would move around the house, like kind of like you would see in Paranormal Activity. Like shit's just going haywire. It's moving around and you don't know why. Your dog's freaking the fuck out. You think you're going nuts. Maybe you had too much acid the night before. I don't know. I'm not judging your life. But anyway, all kinds of freaky shit was happening. And oh yeah, she'd also said that one night when they were eating, a dried grape had appeared on her plate, and they had no grapes in the house whatsoever. That was kind of weird. Maybe it wasn't a grape. Maybe it was a rat raisin. I'm just saying, New York. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. And the crazy thing too is this all happened within the first few weeks of living in this apartment. So they wanted the hell out really quick. But because housing was still limited at the time, they were kind of forced to stay for a little while longer. So then they ended up hiring a medium to come to the house and see if she can figure out what's going on. Like, are we crazy? Is there something happening in this house? Are there spirits? What's going on? What's that? What do I think about the Skeleton Island stories? Is that the one right off the prison where they would like take the bodies and like bury all the bones, and like all the bones are now like kind of falling off the side of the water, or off coming out of the ground and into the water and all that other shit? Am I thinking of the right one? I know there's a lot of creepy ass islands all around us in America. But yeah, like I said, this was in the first few weeks of living there, so they hired a medium to come in and figure out what the hell's going on. And she said that basically 22 spirits were haunting the house. Because there's this thing going around where there's 22 deaths in the house slash apartment complex, but that's kind of speculative. Like, it can't really be proven. So, yeah, anyway. And when she tried to help relieve the spirits of the house, she actually herself became possessed. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, she became possessed and was like, blah, 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 and left. I don't know. Um, so then they were actually able to move after a little while, and they ended up moving like to the next apartment over, like a little down the street. So they lived in 14 and they moved down to 16. And she also said that that was haunted as well. And in 1974, Jan Bartel, the woman speaking about, she finished her book on her living experiences in both of those apartments, but primarily in number 14. And I hate that I'm gonna have to say the name of this book because I'm sorry, this is the stupidest fucking name for a book I've ever read in my entire life. Bear with me. Okay, it's called Spindrift, Spray from a Psychic Sea. That kind of sounds like a mystical porno. I'm sorry. Let me read it again. Spindrift, Spray from a Psychic Sea. Yeah, that sounds like, yeah, it sounds like paranormal porn. I don't know. I don't know. Supposedly this book is very expensive right now if you were to try to go and buy it. I'm not interested in reading it, honestly. But anyway, a few weeks after she finished her book, not quite before it had been released in public, like, put out to the world to get, but right after she finished it in 1974, a few weeks later, she had actually passed away under mysterious circumstances. I heard one other story, but I cannot verify what happened exactly. But I heard one other report that she actually committed suicide. I don't know because that's only one report. I don't know. It could be true, could not be true. But yeah. Oh my God, no, you did it, Charles. Oh my God, I fucking love you. That is. Oh my God, you fucking rock, dude. Spindrift, the new from Summer's Eve. Ew. Oh my God, we should make a parody commercial of that. I have a new camera. Oh my gosh. Okay. So she dies under mysterious circumstances. Yada yada. But that was the the climbing into the big one. Okay, so this one is crazy. So, in I want to say in the 80s, maybe around the mid 80s, there was a horrific murder that had happened in the building. It was 87. That's where it was. 87. So in the 80s, there was a lawyer named Joel Steinberg. For some reason, his name sounds really familiar already. Maybe because they're kind of commonish names anymore. So I don't know. But he and his girlfriend at the time, Haida, I'm gonna mess up her name, but I don't care because she's a piece of shit. Haida Nusabusum. I don't give a shit. She's a piece of shit. So anyway, so it was her, Joel Steinberg, the lawyer, and their two illegally adopted children. I guess they adopted a little boy that was 18 months old, and they adopted a 6-year-old girl. And by illegally adopting them is they took possession of these children but never filed paperwork to formally adopt them and make themselves the legal guardians of these children. So I don't know why they didn't do that, especially seeing he's a lawyer, so he really knows better. But there's more, so it might make sense to somebody else. I don't know. Anyway, in blah, 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 November 1st, 1987, Joel beat his 6-year-old adopted daughter, Lisa, unconscious. in their apartment in a coke-fueled rage. He beat her unconscious. Like I said, she's a 6-year-old little girl. He beat her unconscious, and then he left to go hang out with friends. And then came back and found her still unconscious on the floor at 6 o'clock the next morning. Then he decided to call the police. And when the police showed up, this is what I don't understand this either, because they came to the house, they found the little girl unconscious, and then they went into another room where the 18-month-old was, and he was covered in filth, and he had a soiled diaper, and he was tied to the crib. What the hell? I don't get that. Like, that's wrong. That's a horrible thing to do to children. And then you do it to a child, and then you call the police to your house. One's unconscious and one's still like, you think you wouldn't tie and clean up the other one at least? Because he went on later on to say that, oh, well, she's little, so she likes to climb on stuff, and there was some makeup in the cabinet, and she went to go get it, and she must have fallen off and scraped her back down the wall, and then landed on the wicker basket and then fell over. You know a lot of details for somebody who wasn't there, but I don't know. Anyway, there's just a whole lot of weirdness to it. He ended up going to oh yeah, I'm sorry. When the police arrived, the little girl had a bruised head and a split lip, and the little boy was dirty in a soiled diaper and tied to the crib. The little girl actually ended up passing away 3 days later in the hospital, and then the little boy was actually given back to his biological mother. Joel went to prison. He was given the maximum of 25 years. And in 2004, after only serving 16 years, he got released out on parole. And I don't know what the hell happened to that other piece of shit lady. I really don't know. She's just as guilty as he is. But yeah, I guess a lot of people started claiming that after that whole incident with Lisa had happened, the little girl and that whole family moved out, they said a lot of the paranormal activity had actually kind of slowed down a little bit. So that's kind of weird too. And basically the only consistent spirits or ghosts, entities, demons, whatever these things are that people are seeing, acid hallucinations, I don't know. It's most commonly, there's a woman in white, a gray cat, an aborted baby, and a younger girl who is crying over this aborted baby, like a 19-year-old girl. So I don't know, but I guess still to this day, people are still witnessing and reporting activity in this. I mean, people actually live in it. Like, they still live in it. It's still a very nice area to live in. So yeah, maybe if I'm in New York sometime, maybe I'll go going over there and maybe see if someone will let me come in. So I don't know, but yeah. To me, it honestly, I think that sounds like something that would definitely be like a horror movie. Like, maybe there's a spirit in the house that's like possessing the different people and causing them to murder or, see things and mess with them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You've seen those movies. Yeah. So, and I don't know, some things kind of, for some reason, kind of clicked a little bit of the first season of American Horror Story, maybe because it's an old, vintage house, and, there's up, like in the, there was a doctor in American Horror Story, and this guy's a lawyer. Yeah. Paranormal stuff happening, demons and ghosts and shit, all kinds of scary stuff. I don't know. I kind of believe in this stuff. I kind of don't believe in this stuff. I don't know. So what do you guys think? You guys think it's just people like telling a bunch of stories? Like, maybe they just taking a collection of little, tales that people are telling and just making something bigger out of it? Or do you guys think that this might actually be a really, like, legit haunted place? I don't know. I think I'd honestly have to go and check it out for myself. So, I don't know. know. It's very interesting. Let's see. Oh man. Um, what does this say? Damn, the new Coke has Hotable. What's that? Okay, sounds more like meth or crack, not Coke. That, yeah, it's it's horrible. It's really horrible. It's very unfortunate. It's very sad that happened to those little kids. And it's sad that people like have something wrong with them, or they're just that way to want to do stuff like that to people. I mean, I know drugs do not help anything at all. Not at all. But I think if you're a little bit of a bad person, you're going to be more, it's going to turn your volume up a little bit if you're drinking or doing drugs. So, or if you're just a very angry, frustrated person and you do that stuff, I can see how it can trigger you to act out. I mean, shit, alcohol is the one drug that is, and yes, it is a drug. Alcohol is the one drug that causes people to be violent the most. I mean, really think about it. So many I mean, I've been a bartender for years. I've seen so much shit. I see more people fight because of alcohol. I fought because of alcohol like a dumbass, but it's because I was fucking drunk. People have been around who's been coked out. They don't do that shit. So they want to do stuff. So, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'd probably have to go see that place for myself and check it out, or maybe interview somebody who has lived there and maybe they've got some kind of footage. I don't know. I have friends in New York. Maybe I'll hit them up and see how far they are from it and see what we can get done. Save it for a show. So, all right, guys. Oh, real quick, Leonard, Insidious. Yes, I could. Ooh, yeah, like Insidious. I could see that. Bad opioids. It could be, yeah. Let's see. I'm glad I'm a huggy. I gotta tell you. Oh my gosh, so many stories. I'm sure that we can tell from when we were drunk. At least the ones we can remember, anyway, or the ones our friends half remember and tell us, but they only half remember, so you only get half of the truth. So, oh my gosh, gotta love life, right? All right, guys, love your faces. I hope you guys have a creepy evening, and we'll be back tomorrow. I gotta figure out the game. Maybe we'll start last week's game over again. I have prizes this time, so if you guys come in, you know what? We'll play last week's game this week, because it froze so quickly. I don't know. My internet wasn't acting up today, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, like I said, I got prizes to give out now. I've got a bunch of movies and stuff, so come stop by for that trivia night tomorrow night. Same time, same channel. See you guys later, creepy bastards.